Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Elizabeth, the owner of Healthy Nuggets, where we get healthy one nugget at a time. So my YouTube channel is all about holistic health, which means that we address everything from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and even financial and relational on my channel. So the belief is that if you work on getting better in all areas of your health, all of these areas, you will become better and be healthier. Today's video is going to be about financial health. Very important, probably a little under talked about in my opinion. So I wanted to go ahead and address it right here on my channel with you. So we're gonna get into three healthy financial tips that have worked in my own life and that I believe will hopefully help some of you guys in your financial health as well. So, healthy financial tip number one. If you are trying to save money, the biggest thing that you can do to save money starting right now, is you need to start automatically saving money from your checking account to a savings account. So whatever bank account you have, like whatever banking system you use, Bank of America, Chase, whatever, go to them and say, hey, I want to open a savings account. I believe it's usually free. I want to open a savings account or two. If you have different goals with your savings, you can separate them and have multiple savings accounts. And once you have that account open and linked directly into whatever, like Bank of America, for example, a checking account you have, you will then see your savings account listed when you log in, and you can literally set it up as an automatic transfer. Genius! Like, this is gold. This is a true healthy nugget right now, okay? Because healthy nuggets are little tidbits of information to help us all get healthier one little bit at a time, right? Y'all get healthier one nugget at a time. This is a perfect, healthy, golden nugget. Literally so easy. So what do we do a lot of times? We spend money because it's there, because we see it, and we're just not being intentional enough about saving. So we want to be very intentional about saving, but we don't want to have to put like tons and tons of thinking into it, right? So you figure out your budget, and the way you do that is you calculate like, okay, what am I making kind of every week and every month? Let me figure out what are my essential things that I need to pay for: rent, food, car note, car insurance, health insurance, like the basic things that you legitimately need to spend money on every month. Of course, cut out some things that maybe ain't so necessary or you didn't even realize you was paying for and you don't even use it. Hello, guilty before. Moving on. So once you figure out kind of like, oh, you know what, like, hold up, like I actually got a decent amount or a small amount, because it doesn't matter how you start. Because when I first started saving money, I was only saving like $5, like just $5. But it doesn't matter how you start. You're trying to get in the practice and the consistency, and that stuff still adds up. But you might look in your account now and you might be like, oh, hold up, I got like $200 that I could be saving every month. I got $1,000 I could be saving every month. Depends on your situation and what your income and your spending habits are like. But you might even see, oh, you know what, I'm spending way too much money on clothes or food or just stupid stuff. I could really be saving this money. And that happened to me. I looked at my budget and I was embarrassed. I spend so much money on food in particular, like eating out, just buying groceries, not being intentional enough to, like, you know, just be aware. And that's what it is you have to be intentional and aware with every aspect of your health, right? So you will want to go ahead and figure out how much you can realistically save, and let's just go with $200. So you would automatically set up with your banking online, so easy, that the 15th of every month, I'm going to have $200 come out of my checking and go into my savings. Done and done. You just gonna see that number stacked up. So you're like, oh, hold up, like this saving thing is actually pretty nice. Okay, so maybe you want to save money to go on vacation, maybe you want to save money to pay off your debt, maybe you want to save money to buy a house, maybe you just want to have savings for a rainy day, like God forbid something happens. We are in like a whole quarantine situation right now, so why not have some backup money, right? Period. Maybe you want to save money to like build your business. It doesn't matter, like whatever it is, go ahead. Tip number one, do it today. And if you do it, leave a comment below and be like, girl, done and done. Period. I am saving money officially. So even if you just start with $5, go ahead and start automatically having money come out of your account and transfer into a savings account. And then you won't see it, so you won't spend it. And you'll be motivated by the fact that you see money stacking up. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you want to pay off your debt. I know. It's not something that people really want to talk about. It's not something people want to deal with or face head on. But we gotta take care of the debt. We don't want to just be living with debt forever, right? And then like if you're someone who wants to get married, like why would you want to bring a ton of debt into your marriage for your partner? It's a little selfish. Now we understand things happen, people get educations, people have, unfortunately health situations that happen, they have to spend this money. Some of it is just reckless, let's be honest. Some of it's just reckless, just shopping, just stupid, right? So you want to pay off the debt, and this affects your credit, and your credit is actually very important. It's very important, so you want to be mindful. So one of the best things you can do to have better financial health, tip number 2, is you want to focus on building your credit score up. And one of the ways that you can do this is taking your debt amount down. So there are some like common mistakes that people make. One, people will only pay the minimum amount. No. We're not gonna pay the minimum amount, okay? We're gonna be overachievers. We're gonna be overcomers. We're gonna be victorious, all right? So you don't just wanna pay the minimum amount because that's not really doing nothing. So you wanna do it where you're not just paying the minimum, but you also don't, it's not really recommended to pay in a big lump sum. So let's say you had like $2,000 and in debt, and then you got a $2,000 refund check for like your IRS or whatever, for your taxes. And you were like, okay, I'm just gonna take this whole $2,000 one payment, I'm just gonna pay it off. And I get that, like that sounds good, and some people might believe in that, but from my research, I'm not a financial expert or anything, but this is just what has worked for me and what the research I have done, is you really wanna pay a higher amount than a minimum, but you don't wanna pay the whole lump sum of like $2,000 off in one payment. If you have $2,000, great, but split it up even maybe into, 5 to 8 larger payments. So if you had $2,000 in debt, what has worked for me and helped me to really have great credit is I will pay like $100 every month for a certain amount until that $2,000 is down to like $100, because you still want to have that credit. You still want to have that debt on your credit line to show that you can show that you are faithful, you know how to pay on time, you are paying way more than the amount that the minimum requires. So it builds a rapport for your credit, and that's what it's really all about. Is your credit is kind of showing your character of like, do you pay on time? Do you pay only the minimum? Like, what's the situation? So that would be my suggestion, and what has worked for me. I have great credit, and that's how I have slowly paid off my debt as well as build my credit. So that is tip number 2. Last but not least, tip number 3. So for tip number 3, you only want to use your credit cards for emergencies, okay? Going on a shopping spree, not an emergency. Going to get some food, if you have food at the house, not an emergency. I'm just saying. So generally speaking, you want to try to only use your credit cards for emergencies, true emergencies. Like let's say, your tire goes out and, or your engine goes out and you don't have like the money, but you should because you saving, remember, but that's another thing. But let's just say you didn't have the money, so you would use your credit card for that and then you have to pay it back. So you want to try to only use your credit cards for emergencies or for monthly regular scheduled expenses. So what a lot of people will do is they will use their credit cards for like gas every month, or they will use it to pay their health insurance every month, and so they have their automatic transfer for their health insurance to coming out of their credit card instead of the checking, so that they're still building good credit, still using that credit card, but they're not really accumulating debt because they know they can pay it off. Oh, okay, my health insurance is $150. I know I can pay it, but I'm gonna put on my credit card so that it can build my credit report over time and I just pay it off every month, you know, on time. So that is one way, but I literally had to cut up my credit cards at one point in my life because I was like paying it down, and then I would want to go on a trip or buy some clothes or just want to eat, you know, go out to eat or whatever, like, and I would keep using them, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like my debt is like I'm paying it down, then it comes back up, paying it down, then it comes back up, and they were taking my interest rate up, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And so finally someone just said to me like, well, it's because you keep spending on the credit card. So I literally cut the credit cards up because it was the only way. Sometimes you have to remove things as an option. Like some things just don't need to be on the table as an option for you to be able to do it. So let's take the credit card off the table. It's not an option. Take it away. And now I can't spend it. So all I could do was pay it off. Literally. Like it was like, you can't spend it because you ain't got the card. Joke's on you, boo. So all I could do was pay it off, and that helped me so much to just only focus on paying off those credit cards, building my credit, and creating a way for me to be able to save more as well. And that was great. So I definitely recommend that if you're in the situation that you feel like you can, you know, do that. Cut your credit cards up and just don't use it anymore and just pay it down. Otherwise, you're paying it down and you're raking it right back up. What's the point in that? So those are my 3 financial tips to help you have healthier finances that have worked for me. Again, I didn't go to school for like finances or nothing like that, but I am a human being. I'm 31 years old and I have good credit and I have savings, and this has helped me. So I hope that you will benefit from this because there are people along the way, including God and the Holy Spirit, but friends and, you know, family members and people who were more wise than me or had degrees in finances that have helped me along the way. And also, Google is your friend. You can research stuff, you can look it up, like, hey, what are some things I can do in addition to what I've already told you? If any of these things sound good to you or if they help you, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know. And if you have any healthy financial tips, leave a comment. I mean, this is a community. Let's share, babes. So make sure you like this video if you found it to be helpful for your finances. Share it with your friends if you know someone you're like, girl, let me help you. Let Elizabeth from Healthy Nuggets help you. Let me help you. We gonna help each other because you gotta get your finances together. Okay? Sometimes you gotta get the truth in love. So share this video with them. Be like, I love you, but let's do something about that. Okay? So I hope you guys found this helpful. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel because I do post new videos every single week so we can connect here even in quarantine. I love you guys, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, healthy_nuggets. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.